Right, okay, we're going to do a walkthrough of how to take the data from the Jenny Ridgwell nutrition program, put it into Excel. So here's a typical page for my diet for a student. So I'm going to click on this button here to take us through the detailed information. There's the full content of what this diet contains. If we go to nutrition, we immediately get presented with a decision. Do we want to show 4, which is just energy, protein, carbohydrates and fats? We can show more, which brings in things like fibre. We can show all, which brings in all the micronutrients, or we can show custom, which allows us to pick what we want to use. That's probably the option you're going to want to use. You need to think about what you want to include. But for now, we're just going to cancel and we're just going to show 8. Right, okay. So there's some charts down the bottom which you can use directly, but it's not really indicating you've done much in the way of analysis. So there's a diet chart breaking down in terms of the recommended daily amounts. Some of the diet analysis chart breaking down in individual categories. There's an ingredients chart, which isn't very useful at all actually, especially once you've got a lot of ingredients. This becomes basically a bit useless. But what we want is export nutrient data. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is going to copy this data. Right click, copy, and then I'm going to open up Excel. I'm going to paste it in. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Right, okay, now that's fine, except there's a couple of problems here. One is we've got energy here in 2 categories, kilojoules and kilocalories, which is fine. But also we've got a lot of information which is done in the term of grams, so we can't put energy and we can't put grams on the same graph. So I'm just going to insert a little line here just to separate them out. The other thing there's a problem with is 14 grams, 80% of the DRV. Problem is that Excel does not interpret these as numbers. It interprets them as character strings. So what I'm going to do is going to copy this. Copy again. I'm going to paste a second set of this down here, because when you change data, you should always remember to keep a copy of the original data. Right, so I'm going to basically go through here now is to delete all of these things. So in here, I'll delete that. And I'm just going to pause, and a moment we'll find they've all gone. Right, okay, these are now numbers. I'm just going to do a little bit of format in there, bring them central so they look a bit better. These are now numbers, they weren't previously. Let's get rid of that. Right, so we can now start to do graphs on them. We'll notice that these have got little asterisks next to them. You can get rid of them as well if you want. But if you want to do a simple graph of the raw amount it is in grams, okay, something else we should do. We'll insert a line in here, and we'll add some headings for the columns. So this is going to be nutrients, amount in grams, what we can spell, and we'll just call this percentage. It's a percentage of various things. You may need to think about what you want to do to differentiate between those two. We'll send that as well. Right, so okay, I'm going to make a graph of the nutrient amount in grams. So I'm just going to select these data, click on insert. I've got recommended charts, it's often quite useful, and we're just going to pick the one that's there. We've got a nice little graph straight away. It's given us the graph of the amount in grams. The amount of grams may not be the best way to do this. We probably don't actually want to look at percentage, but we'll come back to that in a second. It doesn't have a chart title. We'll notice the axes don't have units. They don't have unit titles either. You're going to have to do them yourself. Right, so what we'll do is a graph of the percentage, which is probably more meaningful. So I'm going to select this lot. We'll hold down the control key and select percentage. If you don't do that, it doesn't select the data properly. So again, I'll go to insert, recommended charts. I'm going to pick the same chart, click on OK. We'll drag this down so we can see it's different. And there we've now got a graph based on percentage. And if you don't believe me, if you click on there, on that one, it's based on these data, and this one is based on that data. Okay, so that's a good start. Right, so okay, the other thing we can do is add data labels to these. So if we click on them, we're going to add data labels. It puts the percentage amounts on, and you can similarly do that with this one as well. Right, so the next thing, that's okay, but they're absolute percentages rather than relative percentages. What we really want is to look at the ones which are higher and the ones which are lower a bit more directly than that. So what we're going to do is go down and use something I've already prepared down here. So there's a column here with the nutrients and a blank column for the percentages. Right, so we're going to do what's called an Excel formula here. I'm going to press on the keyboard to insert an equal sign. I'm going to scroll up and find the first percentage. Look up here, it's appeared up here in this area where we do formulas. I'm going to click in there and type -1. I'm doing this because this data is in percentages. It might seem a little bit strange, but -1 will actually calculate it based on that as a percentage rather than just a raw number. So we click on tick, and we scroll down here, and you see it's got -82%. Right, so again, if we grab the little handle at the bottom, we can pull down and it'll fill the rest in automatically, which is a great time saver. Right, so now when we do our little graph, we're going to insert again, we'll do recommended charts, and you get this thing which at first sight looks a bit confused, but we're going to fix that in a second. Right, so okay, the problem we have at the moment is that the labels for the x-axis are in the wrong place. We can fix that if you right click on here. Right click on here, we should get format axis. If we scroll down, we find labels. At the moment it's set next to axis. What we click is low. We'll see it's now put the axis where we can see it quite nicely. Go into there, add data labels, and that's quite nice. So we can clearly see that immediately in many cases this dye was deficient in some of the main macronutrients. It doesn't salt, interestingly enough, but quite a lot of protein in it. Okay, so there we go.